Salutations, mortals and children of the night. I am the Vampire Otaku. Let's talk some manga. I have over 700 volumes in my collection, from shoujo to josei, and shonen to seinen. Each of these volumes has a significant meaning to me, and I've curated them in my library, and I can't wait to share them all with you. So drink some blood, drink some water, relax. This is going to be my longest video yet, and I'm so excited to bring you along on the ride and share with you my manga collection. Let's start off with the beginning, and by beginning, the very top. This is Sailor Venus, the best Sailor Scout. No, she's my favorite though. Everybody has a Sailor Scout that they like the most, and Venus has always been mine. She has her own video games, and she has her own cat, Artemis, so she's pretty sweet. This is Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter. It was a gift from a coworker. Very cool gift. It's a violin. I play violin, so I wanted to incorporate the violin somehow in my bookshelf. Gengar behind him. Best ghost boy. We have Adrian Tepes, aka Alucard, son of Dracula. We have Haunter, my favorite of the three evolutions. We have the Akira box set. We have the Burning Gundam from G Gundam, my favorite Gundam series. We have Dust Skull, which is a very adorable Pokemon. I love ghost Pokemon, as you can tell, very biased. We have Mimikyu. We have RX-78, Hello Kitty. We have the box set of Bakuman. I'm gonna get into all my box sets in another video because they deserve their own glory. We have Claymore, the box set. Amazing series. Some of the best character development and just overall beautiful storytelling. I love the art, very detailed, very just unique, especially for its time. We have the Flash, my favorite DC character. I don't really like Funko Pops that much, but I do have a few, and he is one of them. Revolutionary Girl Utena. I talked about it in a previous video. This is one of my favorite shoujos of all time. It's the hardcover box set. I'll go over that in another video, along with my Sailor Moon box set from Kodansha. We have Sailor Venus because she's amazing. We have Sweat and Soap. I haven't read too much of it yet. I've read the first volume. I decided to stop and wait for the next box set. Let me get the light out here so you can see it better. Beautiful box set. I kind of wish they would have did all the volumes in one box set, but I'm still happy that there's a box set. Speed Racer hardcovers box set. Honestly, this manga was a fever dream. It was probably one of the craziest things I've ever read. For it to be for children, it was a lot of gun violence and fighting and just ridiculousness. And Beautiful Joe, let me get the light out of there a little bit. My favorite video game of all time. Favorite Capcom character, favorite everything. Beautiful Joe is amazing. Henshin a Go-Go, baby. And now we get to the actual bookshelf where I will go into a little more detail. We have Revolutionary Girl Utena, After the Revolution. We have Sailor V and Artemis, a little dirty from moving so many times. Let's take it out so you can take a look. It's a very beautiful book, very beautiful manga. Some is gloss and some of it is matte. It's not a big manga, but it's well made, very well made. It's very light, and it just pops on the shelf. It's very beautiful. And right next to it, we have Sailor V, because she's the best. That's why she has her own manga. We have the Sailor Moon side stories. Honestly, even though they're not very big, it took me a long time to read them. There's a lot more content than you'd think. We have Hunter x Hunter. I'm missing volume 19. And 21, 22, and 23, and then all the way after 24 I'm missing. Hunter x Hunter is an incredible series, and I'm waiting to finish it before I read it because I've only watched some of the anime. Yu Yu Hakusho, I just started collecting that, and honestly, I'm just really excited about the reprint. This is not a manga, this is Interview with the Vampire. I'm a huge fan of vampires, if you couldn't tell. Anne Rice is my favorite author, and this graphic novel is about the story of Claudia, one of the vampires in the manga. The art is amazing. I'll actually show you a little bit. Instead of a black and white look, it has like a gray tone to it. You have Lestat in his glory after he was betrayed. And then you have Louis. Frantic Claudia. Just amazing. And it's a hardcover. I don't know if you can tell, but I have a soft spot for hardcovers. Next is the Vampire Hunter D manga. This one's a little damaged, but still well loved. This one has a slipcover, beautiful art inside. Started off as a graphic novel, became a manga and an anime. And honestly, it didn't get finished in America as far as the manga is concerned, and I really need a reprint. Next we have Call of the Night. I really enjoy this manga. It's a newer one. I love the anime as well. Such a beautiful aesthetic. Another vampire story. Happiness. Beautiful art. And I love the matte finish. And I love that Shuzo Oshimi tells the story with art rather than dialogue. I think it's such a very underrated and well utilized skill. These are the hardcovers of Hellsing. Very heavy. They mimic a leather bound book. You have the cross on top. Very high quality paper. Very thick books. Next we have another series about vampires that I highly recommend and I very much enjoy. Cirque du Freak. The art style is a little cartoony, but the subject matter is very mature, but a child can still read it. It's based off of the novel by Darren Shan. Next we have Vampires. I've only read the first volume so far. I'm waiting until more volumes come out. Beautiful art. Really impressed by Dimpa's release of this. I like the size. I like the cover, the spine. It's just well made. It is a girl's love, and I don't have many of those, if any others, but I plan on getting more because girls love and boys love are very fun to read. We have Lamette the Lamb, another vampire story. I have not read this at all. I want to wait until I finish getting volume 6 and 7. Next, we leave the vampire area. Let's go over a little bit, a little slowly. All of this is my vampires. I'm very picky about my vampires. That's why I don't own every vampire manga, but I'm slowly coming around to checking out the ones that I've been turned off to. Next we have MF Ghost, a Japanese manga. This is from the creator of Initial D. I love Initial D. I love cars. My favorite car is the SW20 MR2. The character in MF Ghost drives the GT86 instead of the AE86 from the Initial D series, which is this car. This is volume 1 of Initial D in Japanese. And I just love the segue into going from an AE86 from the 90s to a newer GT86. And I love the premise of the story. Most cars are going the electric, it's in the future. And there are a few people who run a race where only gas cars are allowed. Porsches, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Alfa Romeos, and then the main character's Toyota GT86. Here's volume 1 of Initial D. There's an FDRX7 on the cover. I love the shiny D at the top. I love the way that Initial D is able to portray movement. It's just a beautiful thing. I love the metallic spines. They look gray on the shelf, except for volume 23. That was really damaged. And as I put this back, here are the rest of the spines for 1 through 21, and then 23 and 24. I have a model kit of Keisuke's FDRX7 that I have yet to build, and I think it looks really good on top of my Initial D mangas. And then we have the Seal 80 from later episodes of Initial D. And now we go into my romance section. Honestly, they're not in the best order right now, but I kind of put them in order from the types of manga, the subject matter, and just how I feel about them. They move around as I read more. I'll either love the series or dislike the series and put them towards the end. Anyway, this is Mysterious Girlfriend X, one of my favorite romances. It's very weird, and I love weird romances. I love weird characters, and I love wholesome dynamics. And the main character, Akira, has such an awesome connection with Urube. This one is Eyes. It's an older shonen romance. The covers are so interesting, they look more realistic than the art. There's a little bit of fan service that happens in here, but the story makes the fan service make sense. It's not just thrown in there for no reason. It's a beautiful story coming of age. I recommend it to anybody, to be honest. Otakoi, amazing romance. They're all otakus like myself, cosplayers, gamers, manga creators, and anime enjoyers. And they all work in the office together, and it's about all their relationships with each other and with their significant others. It's a very fun read, and you'll get through it relatively quickly. And also, the fun thing, this has a box set now, and the last volume, which is volume 6, has variant different covers, so I love that. I'm currently reading Emma, as I said in one of my last videos, and honestly, I haven't gotten too far. Here's my Borders bookmark. It shows my age. Been collecting manga since before Barnes and Nobles was any popular at all. The main character's name is William. My name is William as well. And it's set in the Victorian era. And I just really love that era. I love the mannerisms, the clothing, the implied dignity. But a lot of dark things happened in that era too, so it's not all beauty, but I like to portray the beauty. I like to see the beauty. Next is a series from Rumiko Takahashi, the creator of Inuyasha. This is Mason Ikoku. This is the omnibus edition. By the way, Emma is a hardcover. They do have a paperback version. It's a lot older. But these hardcovers are just so nicely made, and they come with dust jackets, which I love so much. Back to Mason Ikoku. These are paperbacks, but they're such high quality. It's like a canvas material, and the art, like watercolor style, just gorgeous covers. One of these is my favorite. I'm not finished reading it yet, but I'm getting through it, and it's a joy to read. The first volume didn't really capture my attention that much. This one's gorgeous. Didn't really capture my attention that much, but towards the end, I just really started enjoying volume 1, and then volume 2 is incredible. Then I have Kaguya-sama Love is War. To me, this manga and anime It's like Death Note, but a romance. They just play mind games with each other to see which character confesses first between the main character and Kaguya. And I love the premise. It's very fun. Next, we have the Duke of Death and his maid. I love this series so much. And I love the covers. They're like some of my favorite covers. I always love when a manga has a matte finish and a gloss finish. The art is incredible. I love the premise. It's very interesting. Basically, anything he touches dies. So he loves his maid and he wants to show affection to her, but he can't touch her and she can't touch him. So that dynamic is very interesting. I love this cover. It's just wholesome. He's sleeping and she's just watching over him. Basically tells a story. She's always looking out for him. It's very sweet. This manga, honestly, I'm annoyed by it. Sheeply Horn, Witch Rami. It was incredible. It was so unique. And it also has my favorite glossy and matte cover. Beautiful gray finish. And a really interesting spine. I just don't like the fact that I have to wait so long for volume 2. It was so interesting. I'd butcher it trying to explain it, but everybody in the area falls asleep. Only the main character and Romy are awake. And they go around trying to figure out the mystery as to why the world is the way it is. I'm leaving things out. I don't want to spoil anything because it's just such a good story that you want to just go into blind. Next we have Toradora. I really enjoyed the anime. I wanted to pick up the series because I enjoyed the anime so much. And I'm kind of interested in the light novel. I don't know if I'll read it or get it, but it does have my interest. I'm missing 6 and 7, so hopefully I find those soon. And then we have The Girl with Senpaku Eyes. This is so cute. Whenever I'm reading Berserk or Claymore or just something with violence or something dark, I could just go to The Girl with Senpaku Eyes. It's wholesome, it's cute, and it's small, but it's full color. Love that so much. I'll give you a better view. It's just such a joy to read, such a palate cleanser. I love how the juxtaposition between how mean she looks and how sweet and kind she is, and how shy she is. Next is a newer series that I'm collecting, new for me. Picked it up recently, Skip and Loafer. I don't know much about it, but I think it's going to be an amazing read and it's going to be really cute. And I heard that the main characters are very unique. So that got me intrigued, so I went ahead and picked it up. Same thing with The Remarried Empress. I don't know much about it besides the fact that it's a manhwa. The art's incredible, and I believe this is also full color. Yes, it is. Very beautiful. It's my first manhwa, and I bought it because, honestly, it looks beautiful, and I heard good things about it. So I just wanted to give it a shot. Next, we have Betrayal. I saw this in a used bookstore, and it was dirt cheap, so I bought it. And I'm excited to check it out. It looks like it's just gonna be a hell of a ride, like a very interesting story. And sometimes I just like to blindly go in and see if I enjoy something. This manga means so much to me. My brain is different. I believe I have ADHD, and this just makes me feel heard and seen and understood as I read it. It's kind of hard to read sometimes because some of the subject matter, I feel like they're writing about my life, like they're writing about things that I've been through and things that I've felt. So if you believe that you have ADHD or any type of developmental disorders such as autism or schizophrenia, this read is going to be, it's going to be a deep one for you. It's going to be a good one. I recommend this to the highest. And Seven Seas did a really good job on it. The art's really simple, but that helps you dive into the characters more. This is a very beat up Beck Mongolian Chop Squad. It's got tape on it, but I love this manga and anime so much. I love rock music, I love metal, I love punk and hardcore, and I love hip hop too. And these characters are just so lovable. They go through so much together and they learn so much from each other through music. And they literally grow up through music. And I just love it. I love how hard they struggled to get on stage and to sing about the things that are important to them. It's just an amazing read. And it's very difficult to find the physical, so read it on an app. Watch the anime, just consume it somehow because it's excellent. No Dame. I love this manga. I love this anime. Not enough people talk about it. It's about classical music. The main character, Chiaki, wants to be a conductor, and he's an amazing pianist and violinist. And he's very, very trained, very disciplined. And his counterpart, Nodame, is very wild and very free. And he feels like it's his life purpose to help guide her towards musicianship. Here's some of the spines. This one is super faded. I really got to replace it. Nodame is on every spine. And honestly, she's such a goofball and such a fun, relatable character. And sometimes not so relatable because she doesn't know what she wants to do. This next one is Your Lie in April. Yes, this anime made me cry multiple times. The main character's relationship with his mother reminds me of a very rocky relationship with my own mother. And it just gets me every time. And also just him being afraid of music and kind of feeling guilty for enjoying music or being able to even do music, and then his counterpart pulling him out of those depths. I'm not going to spoil too much for those who haven't seen it, but watch it. I recommend watching it more than reading it because hearing those classical pieces, it will definitely put you up on some classical music for your repertoire. You know, you have some Chopin in there, you have some Saint-Saëns, just amazing music. Here we have Blue Giant. This has been one of my favorite music mangas of the last year. I hope and pray that we get more parts of it because the ending messed me up. The art is incredible. You can hear the music through the panels. I'm actually going to show you some of the art because I turned to a random page and this guy is playing a saxophone with all of his heart. And you can hear the notes. This man is crying because that's how good the art and music is. It's incredible. No spoilers, but this is an absolute must read even if you're not into music. Locura de Oro. I don't have a lot of shoujos. I'm trying to work on that because I enjoy shoujos and I have more shonen than shoujos, and I don't like that. I want to have a more balanced collection. This, I actually watched the anime first. Didn't like it. I actually hated it. Like a fairy gives the main character the ability to play violin perfectly. And I just didn't like that. But I gave it a chance and I watched the rest of it. It was very fun. And honestly, this is some of my favorite art for older shoujo. It looks really good. I think the art is excellent. Especially for its time. It's not a newer manga, but it looks ahead of its time, in all honesty. But the covers and the spines look like classic shoujo, so I love that. Hello Melancholic. I only read the first volume. I really enjoyed it. It's not the best thing ever, but I had a good time reading it, and I'm really happy that I have it in my collection, and I can't wait to finish it so I can give a proper analysis. We have Given. I believe this is my only BL. I definitely want more. I enjoy the art. I haven't read it yet, but I'm looking forward to checking it out. I only have 2 volumes so far. I can't wait to get more and actually check it out. This one I have a little bit more to say about. Nobody talks about this. Complex Age is the best manga for a fan of cosplay. And it talks about real adult issues within the cosplay community. You know, am I too old to dress up as a character? Do I not look enough the part to be said character? Can I afford to continue this hobby? If my body changes, and should I still do the same characters? It just has a lot of questions. What can I do with my hobby to integrate it with my adult life? If you like cosplay even a little bit, if you cosplay, if you go to anime conventions or Comic-Con, please read this. More people need to know about this. My Dress Up Darling, when I first got this, I hated it. I didn't like it at all. I felt like Marin was kind of using Gojo, and I didn't like her as a character. I thought Gojo was really shallow, and it was too much ecchi for me, and not enough story. And there were a few things about sewing that was in the first volume that were inaccurate, and it made me feel like the author didn't do their research. So I dropped it. And I watched the anime. The anime was beautiful, and a lot of the things that I didn't like were cleaned up later. So I ended up giving it another chance. I still need to get volume 2. It's actually a fun read once I get past volume 1. I love cosplay. I actually cosplay and I make props. So I feel like it was a must to have in my collection. But those of you who got My Dress Up Darling because you love cosplay, check out Complex Age, because in my opinion, it'll speak to you more. We have Yaomushi Pedal, we have Best Boy Onada, and we have my favorite character, Naruto, the sprinter. Later on, he changes, but he's the flashy boy. I love biking. I love cycling. I literally have my bike right there. Cannondale. Why is it in the kitchen? I live in a studio. No space. Whatever. Anyway, the art is super unique. Really strange. And I know for a fact that the creator studied cycling. He even went to France to check out La Tour de France. And he knows about each cyclist's position, their jobs, and what they do in the sport. You have people who collect water and food for their teammates. You have the sprinters that try to win at the very last minute. You have the attackers. It's like, I can talk about cycling all day, and to be honest, I'm going to make a video on it by itself. Let's just say it might look boring when you watch it, if you ever seen it, but you're playing chess while you're on a bicycle. That's the best way that I could describe it. If you like bikes at all, read it, watch it, love it. Next, I'm a big fan of Tokusatsu and Super Sentai and Kamen Riders, so of course I had to get Gorenja Super Sentai, and I had to get Kamen Rider as well. And then we got Go-Go Loser Rangers. Haven't read either of these, but I read the first volume of Go-Go Loser Ranger. It's incredible. It's from the makers of Quintessential Quintuplets. I haven't read that one, but I love the art. This is getting an anime soon. If you don't want to read it, definitely watch it. Incredible story. It flips the whole narrative of good guys versus bad guys upside down. The good guys are jerks, and the bad guys really aren't that bad. Next one, The Book of Human Insects, my only Osamu Tezuka work. To be honest, his art is very old school and cartoonish, and for this story, I love it. It's about a woman who basically chameleons and takes on the best qualities of each guy that she meets and just does them better, and then buries that guy within his own niche. And she's a trendsetter, kind of a savage. It's an insane story, kind of a fever dream. Next we have Cats at the Louvre. This spine is amazing, and it's my only Taiyo Matsumoto work. But I love this hardcover. It's got like, I can't even describe it. Like, it kind of feels like denim, and then it has a gloss kind of top part. This story is like hand drawn by pencil, the art, and I really enjoy it. Cats at the Louvre, it's just so unique. I've never seen a manga that looks like this. And the story, it's insane. Like, I don't want to spoil anything whatsoever, but the cats are like their own entity, and the humans that coexist with them, they don't understand what's going on. And just read it. Next we have Rohan at the Louvre. I decided to put the two Louvre books together because why not? Rohan is one of the best characters in the JoJo universe. My favorite character is Bucciarati. To be honest, this story was fun. Like, it wasn't the best that Rocky wrote, but it was fun. I really had a good time reading it. It was a mystery, and it kind of falls in line with Part 4 of JoJo, because Part 4 of JoJo is full of mystery. I love this cover so much. I love the fact that all of JoJo's are hardcovers. That just pleases me. Most of the content in this hardcover, let's check out the back, has a gloss on the back as well as matte, which again I'm a big fan of. To be honest, most of it is in Netflix, so this is the one that you really want. It's got new stories and new content that they didn't animate. I love the spines with the old English. Very nice. Again, with the gloss and matte. And we have part 1 of JoJo, part 2 of JoJo, part 3 of JoJo, part 4, and part 5. And my good friend drew me as Bucciarati because that's going to be the next cosplay that I work on. Maybe I put that on the channel. I don't know. But let's go back and talk about them. So, we have part 1. Jonathan. So, I honestly... Oh, my apologies. It's not Jonathan. Wait, that is Jonathan. Then we have Joseph. My apologies. To be honest, I really enjoy part 1. A lot of people, I don't know why they don't. I mean, I'm biased. You know, we got Dio's first part. You know, you get to see just how petty he is as a person. And as a vampire, as he becomes one. And you got Haman. Haman is super interesting to see in action. Then you have part 2. I love how these are Araki's, first JoJo parts, and they use his new style of art instead of the old style for the covers. This is part 3. We have a paperback version of part 3, and that is the only paperback version that we have of JoJo's. By the way, that was Jotaro. We got Josuke. Let's show him with his awesome hair. Don't make fun of his hair. Never. And in part 5, my favorite, I'll pull this one up. We got Bucciarati, we got Trish, we got Giordano, we got all the boys. We have Senpai's Pious Lie. This one was insane. This is the wife of Inio Asano. This work made me really think about the position between men and women, and it was just such a tough read. Not in a bad way either. Like, I really enjoyed it. I was on the edge of my seat, but just seeing the main character, her emotions get toyed with so much, and other characters get yo-yoed around. Just, it was intense. We got Solanin. This is one of my favorite Inio Asano works. I love music, and his characters were just so interesting and just so fun to read about. Goodnight Poon Poon was an insane ride. a lot of manga YouTubers talk about it, and it's wild. There's a lot of self-destruction in it, a lot of sadness, a lot of anger, a lot of just acting on raw emotion. And although I wouldn't do half the things that I read in this story, I can relate to just kind of letting your emotions run you. And then I actually like Dead Demons Destruction more than Goodnight Pun Pun because where is she at? Let me find her. This character is out of her mind. And she is so fun to read about. And just the whole melancholy of aliens invading, but they're not really invading, they're just chilling in the sky. It's just such a unique take on aliens. This is such a great read. And of course we have the gloss and the matte and slipcovers. And even though they seem like they're very thin, there's so much content. Downfall was okay. Like it was kind of like a lesser version of Sensei's Pious Lie. It was alright. Like, I wouldn't get rid of it. You know, it's not bad. It's just compared to all of his other works, it didn't hit me the same way. It didn't hit different. We have Pluto. Pluto hits different. Pluto, Naoki Urasawa. And we have The Great, Osamu Tezuka. This is an adaptation of Astro Boy. It's about all the greatest robots. It's only 8 volumes. I felt more for these robots than I feel for a lot of human characters in some of these other mangas because they are all just written so well. So please give that a shot if you haven't. Mujirushi. This one was really fun. Like, it starts off really slow, just a one-shot. And it's also about the Louvre. These manga artists love the Louvre. I want to visit. Anyway. Yeah, like, this one was really fun to read. And it circles back like a full circle moment within the story. And that just made everything worthwhile reading. Sneeze? I read this and I don't remember it, so I'm gonna have to read it again. Like, to be honest, I don't know if I enjoyed it because I really don't remember it. What I do remember is Blue Period. I'm an artist as well, and I wanted to be an art teacher back when I was in middle school and beginning high school. And speaking of art, I'm also gonna be doing art on my channel, doing like drawings sped up. I've always wanted to do those videos, so if you want to check those out, I'll be pumping them out. Right now I'm working on an owl with colored pencil. Colored pencil is one of my favorite mediums, so please take a look at those as well. But back to the subject at hand. Blue Period is such a realistic take on just a gifted, intelligent student that wants to play it safe, but also doesn't know what he's passionate about. So he finds art and he just falls in love with it. And I feel the same way. And also, we got matte and gloss. The paint stroke is the gloss. Genius. I love it. The spines look amazing on the shelf. The story is not really that hard for me to read, but if you like action, you'll probably get bored with this. But give it a shot anyway. Read it online. The characters are very well fleshed out. The art is just understandable. Like, honestly, if you don't know anything about art, it's not going to information dump you as bad as some other series. So I'd give it a shot. Gengeku Picasso. Honestly, this story was way better than I thought it was going to be. I was iffy on it for a while. My goodness, this third volume is thick. The art is awesome. The story, it seems episodic, then it all ties together. Definitely made me cry. We have a loner that didn't feel a connection to anyone, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but through art, he connects with people. I'm not going to say how, but the first volume will mess you up. Like, the first volume I was reading and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting," and then boom, and just I was hooked after that. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! R. I'm a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! I used to play competitively. I wasn't the best, but I enjoyed it. I ran a Dark Magician deck, and then I ran a Spell Counter deck, I guess if you can call it that. It was fun. The game got a little too fast for me, and I'm probably going to start playing Pokemon or maybe Magic. I also heard that there was a Final Fantasy game. Just found out about that as a card game. Mind blown. I need Vincent Valentine. Anyway, here's the Pokemon mangas. I love these mangas so much because they just have so much more of a story than the anime did. Or maybe not more of a story, but just such a different story. Like, I won't spoil too much. Oh yeah, by the way, we got the gloss and we got the matte. We got Red and Pikachu here. Awesome. These covers are great. We got blue, we got Golduck, Scyther. Love it so much. So on and so forth. They're very heavy too. They're very heavy. To be paperbacks, they're heavier than some hardcovers. Like Vinland Saga is much lighter than this, even though it's a hardcover. But yeah, Team Rocket's a lot different out here. The gym leaders are different. The main characters are just so lovable, and each couple of volumes the main character switches to a different character, and I kind of wish that the actual show did that. I know we're at the end with Ash, which is kind of sad, bittersweet, but I want them to do what they're doing in this manga, at least a little bit. I won't spoil too much though. And then we have Pokemon Adventures, the paperback, Black 2 and White 2. My favorite Pokemon is Chandelure, and you got Litwick. I love those two. The Middle Evolution, Lampent, he's really cool, but definitely my least favorite of the three. I got these because this is the generation in which Litwick is in. I believe the 5th generation. I could be wrong. So I never got to play the Black and White game, but I really want to play it because the first gen Pokemon, they aren't in it, and I heard the storyline is so much better, and I'm a sucker for good storylines, so one of these days I'm going to pick that game up used and play it. This is Planet Test from the creator of Vinland Saga. I don't own Vinland Saga right now, but I watched some of the anime and it's incredible. This used to have singles, but this is the omnibus. Honestly, this series was so fun to read. I had such a good time. Like, it's a slice of life. It's got a little political in it. There's some death in space. You know, space, very dangerous place. They really cement in your mind as you read how dangerous space is, but how accustomed the characters have become. And you follow the main character for a while, and then the main character switches. And it's so streamlined, that you almost don't recognize that there was a switch in characters. You're just kind of along for the ride. Just excellent. Please read this. Astra Lost in Space, another shonen that reminds me of Gengeku Picasso. Just way better than I thought it was going to be. The beginning was kind of weak though. It was cookie cutter, kind of boring, but wow, when it picks up, it picks up. Like, there's mystery, a lot of sci-fi, obviously because it's in space, and amazing, some of the best character developments and a great plot twist. I love it. And next we have Die Dark. This is from the maker of, give me a second, I can't remember a name right now, it'll come back to me. But it has the beautiful gloss and matte finish. To be singles, these are very heavy, very good quality. 7 Seas does it again. Just amazing artwork as always from Q. And to be honest, the first volume I didn't like very much, and I was worried because I already picked up 3 volumes and they're a little pricey. I think they're like 14 each. Yeah, $13.99 each. I was a little worried. But by a second volume I started really enjoying it, and I'm really glad that I purchased it. Next we have Saturn Apartments. I need about 4 more. I'm sorry, 3 more. And this will be done. The premise of it is really interesting. I haven't read it yet because I want to wait until I get the rest of them. I love the art too and the covers. Just a slice of life. Living on Earth's surface is kind of difficult, so we just got really high apartments. That's pretty much all I know, but that was enough to get me to want to check it out. We have Battle Angel Alita Mars Chronicle. I think this is before Battle Angel Alita series. I don't know anything about this one, but I loved Battle Angel Alita so much that I picked it up anyway. It's got some damage. I actually got volume 5 for free when I bought Beck Mongolian Chop Squad because they were both so damaged. Battle Angel Alita, I haven't shown you guys any art in a second. Let me pull this one out because you need to see it. It's incredible. It had a live action movie. Really nice hardcover. Got some weight to it. High quality paper. I could turn to any page and you will see highly detailed biomechanical artwork. And super unique. It's like a graphic novel, but still a manga. It's just such a beautiful in-between of graphic novel, comic book, and manga. And I highly recommend this to any and everybody. Like, if you're not a fan of sci-fi, this might make you a fan of sci-fi. We have The Men Who Created Gundam. This story was insane. Like, the guys who created it were out of their minds. And I'm so happy that they made it. They wanted to sell toys. They wanted to have full-length movies. They wanted to be the best at everything that they did. One of the creators did a lot of questionable things in this story that I'm not a fan of, but the overall story of how Gundam was created was really fun to read. Yeah, this guy kind of reminds me, I think, of the drummer from the Nana series, which is really funny. Next, we have The Best Gundam, G Gundam, Domon Kashu. His hand in mine is burning red. You know, to only have 3 volumes, they fit just about everything in it. And it was super impressive. I love the art. There's a Gundam that looks like Sailor Venus in there. That's enough for me. We have RX-78, and then we have Gundam The Origin. I haven't read it, but it's so beautiful. I had to get it. They're very heavy and just such high quality. And it has like a suede texture. Incredible. Just incredible. Okay, we go down a little bit farther. Thanks for sticking along. We have Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. Probably one of the most popular Gundams. This has the scene in it. If you know, you know. Amazing art. To be honest, reading it, I get lost in the story a little bit more than watching it. I could follow a little bit easier watching it versus reading it. But it was very fun to read nonetheless. And even though these vertical releases are kind of small, don't let that fool you. It's a lot of content in there. We have Darling in the Franxx. I loved this anime. The ending, in my opinion, was not good. Oh yeah, by the way, the gloss and the matte finish, incredible. Amazing art. Don't get this for anybody that's younger because it does have some questionable art in it. But I got it because apparently they changed the ending. And to me, that was the only really bad part about the story was the ending. Everything leading up to it, I loved so much. And I really love the last volume. It's just awesome. You got Hiro, you got 02. Amazing. And then we got some more Trigger. This is hardcover of Kill la Kill. I love the shininess to it. I'm like a cat, like I love shiny stuff. The spines look great. To be honest, this doesn't cover the full story like Gundam, like G Gundam did. I love this cover too. But it does follow the story really well, so that's fine. The art's really good. I actually really like the art, so there's a lot of good things about it. I think Udon did a good job. By the way, this is probably one of the lightest hardcovers I've ever grabbed. We have Trigon. I don't have the rest of Trigon, but these versions are cool. These were given to me. I didn't really like Volume 1 that much. It just didn't really capture me. Volume 2 was really fun to read though. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it enough to where it just makes up for Volume 1. Next we have Eureka 7. I really enjoy this series. These copies are kind of beat up, but you have Eureka and you have Renton. It's a Bandai manga. The anime came out before the manga. To be honest, the anime is definitely better, and it just had a much more streamlined ending. The manga's ending was really abrupt, and it kind of threw me off, but I love this series so much that I just had to have it. The artist from Eureka 7 also did Dead Man Wonderland. To be honest, I watched the anime of Dead Man Wonderland and it was fun, and I kind of stopped caring. But the manga, I don't know, like it kept me hooked. It kept me enjoying it, and the ending, it wasn't as bad as people say it was. Like, it was a good ending. But I think this is one of those series that's edgy for the sake of being edgy. But don't let that deter you. It's still a really good read. Livingstone is also the art from Eureka 7 and Dead Man Wonderland. To be honest, this was a really fun read. Like, the characters, there's not a lot of characters, and I think that gives you a chance to really dig deep into what makes those characters unique, and who these characters are and who they want to be, and what their goals are, and their wants and needs. It's just awesome. And the covers are really cool too. They kind of look like comic books. You have the whole graffiti style. Yeah, it's a really fun read. Like, I recommend it. I got Natsumi's Book of Friends. I heard a lot about this series. I was gonna watch the anime, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. I love the premise of it. It's like a lonely character, and he just kind of befriends spirits, and some spirits aren't friendly. And I don't know a lot, but I'm just kind of sold on what I do know. Like, I can't wait to read it. It's a little bit longer of a series. I think it's like in the 30s in the volumes, but I'm really excited to collect it. And then we have from the maker of Witch Hat Atelier, Anele and Duele. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I have to pull this out. Most people talk about the art of Witch Hat Atelier. She is an incredible artist, and that's why everybody talks about it. That's a lot of times the only reason why people pick up Witch Hat Atelier. Like, not even for the story, but for the art. But she's an amazing story writer too. Like, these are all episodic, but they come back full circle. They're very funny, all the stories. This is a story between the friendship of an angel and a demon. They're both into fashion, and their hijinks are just hilarious. And then with the incredible art style, somehow that makes it funnier. I don't know how. I'll show you the other covers because they are worth your time. Just incredible art. I believe she did some art for comic books as well, and you can kind of see that influence in her work. So it's really fun. Next we have Tokyo Mew Mew. I love cute stuff. This is a very cute, nostalgic purchase. That's all I got to say about that. You know, it fills the hole that Sailor Moon left because I read all that. So I'm gonna read this. I can't wait. I read a little bit when I was younger, but I don't remember anything. So this is gonna be exciting. This, so far I only have 2 volumes of Nana, and this story is incredible and so much drama, and it's a wild ride between 2 characters named Nana. Next we have Paradise Kiss from the same maker of Nana. I opt for the singles because the omnibus is too damn big for me. It's like a telephone book. I refuse. It's about fashion. I enjoy fashion. I love the whole goth style. And high fashion is awesome. Next we have Zodiac PI. This is from the maker of Kitchen Princess. This was a really fun read. My only complaint, the text is kind of small. It's like an older manga. And me wearing glasses, my eyes got super tired reading this after a while. I love the old school art style. I love how she uses the Zodiac to figure out the things that are going on. We have Full Metal Alchemist Full Metal Edition. Let me give you guys a warning. If you buy this, make sure that you don't hold it while reading it because my hands wiped off all the side of it. I had to read the rest of the series with gloves or actually holding paper. That way I didn't wipe the rest of it off. But very heavy. Look at that shiny, beautiful, amazing paper quality. And here's something else that I like about this version of Full Metal Alchemist. We have wax paper, so it's like you could kind of see through it a little bit. And then when you turn the page, you get what's underneath the page. I don't know why I love that so much. And at the end of the book, you get some art. I'll let you pick this up so you can see the art for yourself. Very beautiful edition. Just don't wipe any of the beautiful letters off. It's 18 in total. Next, I have Helk. This is a newer series for us in America. I heard about this series from a YouTuber named Scamboli. Shout out to Scamboli. He's hilarious. And he said this was a masterpiece, and I kind of respect his words. So I went to check it out, and this first volume was already a masterpiece. I can't wait to meet this character, Pee-wee. And I just can't wait to figure out what Helk's motive is. The Demon Lord situation, just all of it. I'm not going to spoil anything, but please read this. It's really good. Scamboli was right. Yeah. Next, we have High Score Girl. I think the anime is ugly. The manga is beautiful. Like, I love the art so much. I'm actually going to show it to you. I love the covers. They're super cute. Kind of chibi Scott Pilgrim vibes. It's Square Enix, along with my Dress Up Darling. Yeah, the art's really cool. And I have my Game Boy Color on top because I like to have certain things coincide with the books that I own. I'll have like Sailor Venus on my Sailor Moon books. Here we go, the Game Boy Color. I got my Gundams on top of Gundams. I have my Power Rangers and Super Sentai with my Super Sentai, so on and so forth. I like those little touches for my bookshelf. Some people on YouTube have amazing bookshelves, and I want to be like them when I grow up. Next, we have Welcome to the Ballroom. The anime, again, kind of ugly. Like, when they dance, their necks kind of look really strange. But, oh, wow, this manga's art is amazing. What's not amazing is some of these are gloss. Give me 1 second. I will find you. Here we go. And some of these are matte. I don't like that. I don't like the inconsistencies. I need them to be all gloss or all matte. Preferably, I prefer matte over gloss because it films better, and in my experience, it's more resilient. It lasts a little bit longer. Anyway, back to the art. The art in this manga is incredible. The storytelling is incredible. If you've never cared about dancing, read this, you will. The sense of movement, the sense of urgency within the characters, meaning how bad they want their goals, how much they want to connect with other characters, how much they want to be seen and understood. It's just all incredible, and I really recommend it. I heard a lot of things about the No Longer Human novel, so I really wanted to check it out. Junji Ito also has the No Longer Human. I am going to buy that one as well so I can compare. I really like Junji Ito, and he just has a very unique way of storytelling, and I'm just really excited to see the difference between two artists' interpretations of the same story. We have PTSD Radio. This is on hiatus, and it makes me very sad because this first volume was so creepy and so interesting. The characters were just, even though I didn't get a lot of time with the characters, they were well fleshed out. I got volume 2 as well. I love the red. Red's my favorite color. Blood, vampires, makes sense. Anyway, we have Box of Light, volume 1. This story has really unique art. I'll go ahead and show it to you. Oh, by the way, PTSD Radio also has amazing art. This looks like a webtoon, but not in a bad way. It's really interesting. This story is fun. Like, basically a convenience store in betwixt living and dead. It's like purgatory, but a convenience store. It's just really interesting. It was very fun to read, and I'm really looking forward to the next volumes. We have Midako-chan. I think this suffers the same. Yes. So first volume is matte. We love that. Very thin though. Second volume is gloss. I hate that. Pick a struggle. Choose one. The art is incredible. Very creepy. Very fun. I only read one volume so far, so I don't have a strong opinion, but I'm hoping that it doesn't get old and it doesn't overstay its welcome. I'm really looking forward to reading more of it. Next, I'm pretty late to collecting this series, but I watched a little bit of the anime and I looked at the art book. The art and the idea, just the premise and the spines, incredible. Like, I love the fact that your spirit attached to a toilet. Well, not necessarily a toilet, but a bathroom, and basically attached to a school. And I love Hanako's connection to all the other spirits that reside in that area. I don't want to spoil anything, but to be honest, my favorite thing about the anime and about the manga, I haven't read much, but my favorite thing about it is the connections between all the characters, the way they interact with each other. It's refreshing. I haven't read many stories where the characters connect in the way that they connect in this story, so I'm really excited to read more. We have Parasite. To be honest, I've never read it. I've only watched it, and this is a hardcover, and wait for it, it's full color. We love that. So That being said, I had to buy it. I had no choice. I'm really excited to read Parasite. I've only had the anime to look at, so that's gonna be a fun read. Junji Ito's Cat Diary is probably my favorite Junji Ito work. It's hilarious, and I love cats, and it just works. I don't know, it's really good, and I kind of want the hardcover version, but I like this version too. The cover is so cool. Maybe I'll get both. I don't know. Uzumaki is Junji Ito's most popular work, probably, for good reason. To take a shape and to make it horror is genius to me. I said that in one of my previous videos, and to this day, a year later, I still believe that it's genius to be able to take a shape and make it creepy, make it scary, make it unnerving. So Uzumaki's a definite read if you're new to Junji Ito. Tomie is very interesting. A woman that can't die, or she dies over and over and over. She drives men wild, and it's not really always explained why or how they go mad, but they go mad after being around her for too long. She's really rude, kind of a vile woman, and she's a fun character, very well written. I think this is Junji Ito's latest work, Black Paradox. It had a very strong start. Oh yeah, by the way, the texture of this hardcover is amazing. And we have the gloss. I'll show you the gloss. And then we have the matte. Then we have the shiny, oh, let me turn it this way. The shiny letters and the shiny letters on the spine. Beautiful. It had a very strong start. There were some things in it that it made sense, but it wasn't really explained well, and it kind of just made it not believable. Like, certain characters had certain resources for plot device, but despite that, the start was so strong, and the idea is so interesting. I'm not gonna spoil anything because it's one of those stories where you definitely need to go in not knowing anything for the best effect. They full circle around at the end of it, and it kind of makes everything that you read worthwhile. And my history with Junji Ito is the endings just aren't really that great. Like, Uzumaki had an amazing ending. Cat Diary had an amazing ending. Tomie is one of those stories that just kind of loops forever. Remina didn't have a good ending at all, but I love space, so I still really enjoy this story despite the lackluster ending. I love the cover, I love the spine. If you're looking to get into some Junji Ito though, Black Paradox is actually pretty good. Love Sickness. This has a couple of short stories in it. Honestly, this was a very fun read, and the ending was pretty good. It was pretty good. Characters were really interesting in it. The story was interesting as well. Like, the characters and the story were equally interesting. And a lot of times the story is a lot more interesting than the characters are in Junji Ito's books, but Love Sickness had some really fun characters. The Luminal Zone, this is another newer one. I love the cover so much, and it has a dust jacket. It has a nice texture, like it feels like suede. Got the shiny spine, the layers in the spine. Amazing. I haven't read it yet, but I just love the quality of it. Censor, oh, it's backwards. Actually, I can show it to you. I love the way it looks. The art is really good in this one. Like, honestly, I might like the art in Censor more than Black Paradox. This story was ridiculous, to the point where I almost got tired of reading it, but it was okay. It's definitely not his worst work. If I was to say his worst work over here, it probably would be Remina. I mean, even though I love space, it just doesn't save that ending. The ending was not good for me at all. And now we have some more Rumiko Takahashi. We have Mermaid Saga. I love this story. It has a Junji Ito vibe, but the characters are just a lot more fleshed out, and it was a lot more cohesive and more fun to read. Like, I love this story, and I love this edition. Look at that beautiful watercolor art. Yeah, this is definitely worth your time and money. Definitely pick this up. I'll show you the other one. Her art's awesome. Come to Mirror, to be honest, if you're a Rumiko Takahashi fan, buy it. It's a bunch of short stories. Some of the stories are amazing. Let's see if I can get this out. Some of the stories are amazing. I actually don't like the cover that much, but I do like the spine and the color of it. Some of the stories are amazing. Some of the stories are just, I wouldn't say bad, but just really lackluster. The last story is amazing. It's like a short biography between Rumiko Takahashi and another mangaka. I actually don't remember which mangaka, but it's been a while since I read it. I haven't read it since like last year, but it was so fun to just learn about how they connected and how they started making manga. So for that, definitely pick that up just for the ending. Down to Dawn, I read a lot of this online. I forgot who I heard about this from. It was another manga YouTuber, but it might have been Joey from Trash Talk, or I'm sorry, Trash Taste. That was a very fun podcast to watch. He said it was insane, and I was curious. I was like, what makes it so insane? Without spoiling anything, one main character believes in aliens, the other one believes in yokai or spirits, and they try to prove to each other that their beliefs are real and that the other person's beliefs are not. And they both end up getting proved that both of their beliefs are real, and the worst things that can happen to them basically within each other's beliefs happens, and they have to help each other out. Very fun. I'm probably on volume 3 or 4 because I read digitally because I was addicted. So I had to stop because I enjoy reading physically a lot more than digitally. I only read digitally if I have to. If I can find a paperback or a hardcover, just some type of physical way to read, I'm going to go with that every time. We have some Shuzo Oshimi. Well, more of it because Happiness was the first one that you saw in my collection. Welcome back, Alice. I love these spines so much. I love the covers. I love the way he draws. Like, it's amazing art. This story is really fun. I don't know if the main character is trans or just likes to dress in women's clothing, or, you know, if their pronouns are they, them. But what an amazing, fun character. Like, I'm gonna say they for the sake of this video and just the sake of my sanity and trying to make sure I get everything correct. But they are just so unique. Like, I'm not a woman, I'm not a man, I'm me. Like, that's kind of reminds me of Prince, one of my favorite musical artists. Just, I'm an experience. I love this character. And the character is like so big and so well fleshed out so early that I can't even remember the other characters. I only see that character. So that is one well-written character. Shino can't say her name. This story was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was kind of fun to read. I guess I could relate a little. When I was in school, I was a lot more shy. Well, at least in middle school anyway. And by high school, I just didn't care anymore. But middle school, I really had trouble connecting with people. And a lot of times I just didn't want to talk. Be it social anxiety or fear, whatever the case might have been, I could relate. But it wasn't the best written story, but I liked it simply because I could relate. The Flowers of Evil. I kind of wish that I had the singles instead of the omnibus. The omnibuses are fine. I just really like the way the singles look. This story was insane, to be honest. It was a lot crazier than I thought it was gonna be. A lot of blackmail. Just not really understanding your feelings or the feelings of others. Just trying to find yourself and stay true to yourself, but also not lose yourself in another person, or not betray the image that another person may or may not have of you. It was kind of profound, to be honest. We have Berserk. I read this a lot. I read this when I was a lot younger, and I want to read it again because it's fuzzy. And I picked up these beautiful hardcover editions. They're very heavy. They're very similar to, got the symbol right there. Very similar to the Hellsing versions, the hardcover versions. And I'm just really excited to read this. I've already read Hellsing in that edition, and even though these books are really heavy, they're not as hard to read as I thought they would be. I mean, by the way, while we're here, I keep these egg cartons here because these are my book risers when I want to double stack. And when I double stack, they become like this. So I have a lot of Yawamushi Pell in the back, then I have some in the front. These are held up by, you guessed it, an egg carton. I love that. Alright, this is one of the funniest parts of my collection. I have Cardcaptor Sakura next to Berserk. I'm missing volume 9 because that's the type of person I am. You know, we got some edginess, we got some darkness next to the adorableness. And I have a gripe with this edition of Cardcaptor Sakura. It's beautiful. It's hardcover. Look at that shine. Look at that art. That cover is just amazing. My gripe is the fact that these are so thin. Like, you could have easily made a lot less of these. But it's fine. I'm glad that we have a hardcover version of this fun story. Oh, I have another gripe. They gave us cards with each of it. They're not cloud cards. They just make a picture. So I could put all these together, put them in a frame, I guess. But I'd rather have cloud cards. Like, give me wind, give me water, give me all the elements. Chobits. I honestly enjoy my little Clamp moment, but there's a few things about Clamp that I'm not the biggest fan of. I'm not a big fan of age gaps, and I have a few of them in my collection. And the stories are really good, so I try to ignore them, but I don't like it. But I do enjoy Clamp's art, and these hardcovers are beautiful. And it has like a little texture right here, and it shines. This is a really fun story. Probably has one of the catchiest intros of anime of all time. Yeah, let me be with. Yeah, it's amazing. Anyway, we got Wish. Wish, honestly, is one of my favorite Clamp series that I own. I like it more than Cardcaptor and Chobits. I don't know why. Because it's super simple and it's really cute. And it's short and sweet. I don't know. You got demons and angels in it. That was enough for me. But Cardcaptor is really fun. So I don't know. I don't know if I like Cardcaptor more than Wish. I know I like Wish a lot though. We have Spy Family. Spy Family is super popular, and for good reason. It's really fun to read. I enjoy every volume. I'm not caught up as far as reading. I'm on volume 7. I decided to take a break because I don't like finishing up a series that isn't quite finished yet and then waiting for the next volumes. I really enjoy binging. Probably a bad habit, but it's my habit. We got colorless. Let me take these out because these are beautiful. The gloss and the matte, I'm a sucker for that, as we know, as we've learned. They're not the biggest mangas, but they have a little weight to them. And they're just well made. Shout out to 7 Seas. Yeah, so basically in this story, you have a world where color no longer exists. It's been destroyed, and every little trace of color that you see is powerful. Humans don't look like humans anymore because of whatever happened to destroy color. I don't want to give out too much. I want to keep it vague. And we're trying to figure out why and where these little amounts of color are. And in the manga, when you see those little bits of color, they show up in the manga as color. So it's all black and gray like your standard manga, and then you see flashes of color. That is so cool, so unique, so interesting. I've only read the first volume. It really reads like a graphic novel, and the art is really like a graphic novel too. Like, I really felt like I was reading a comic book. It was really fun to read. It wasn't the best thing that I read, but I enjoyed it enough to get the other volumes. We have Death Note, the best edition. I mean, the black edition. The paper's black, so that's amazing. You have a different character on each cover, and then you got the gloss and the matte, and the matte has a texture. It feels like suede. This is the definitive way to collect Death Note, not the big yellow page version with an all-in-one or the singles. You need the black edition. Death Note short stories. Haven't read this one, but it was beautifully done. Like, look at that. And I'm excited to check it out. I'm rereading Death Note again. I hate that they're not the same size. Like, this short story is just a different size than all of the versions of Death Note, which is very peculiar. I'm excited to read that. I'm gonna reread Death Note because it's been a very long time. We have Platinum End. To be honest, I don't like this series that much, but it's so pretty, it's so shiny. The covers are like amazing, some of the best covers in shonen. Just because of shininess, I love the shininess. To be honest, this story just it wasn't written the best way. There's a lot of plot holes. The main character is super annoying. It's not my favorite, but I don't want to get rid of it because I like having multiple works by Obata. So I don't know, it'll stay, but I didn't enjoy it that much. There's a lot of shock value in it, and the core idea is super interesting, but all their core ideas are interesting. You know, the Death Note, very interesting. Bakuman, a manga about these guys making a manga and making an anime, and they added romance to it. Awesome. Anyway, we have My Neighbor Seki. I don't see this in a lot of people's shows. This is super fun and episodic. It's a light read. This dude does some ridiculous stuff on his shelf, or not on his shelf, on his desk, every day in class, and she tries to figure out why he's not doing his schoolwork and why he keeps doing crazy stuff on his desk, and he's just entertaining himself and having a good time. And I love that so much. I love the fact that he's so creative and just so good at everything he does at his desk. He does things at his desk that you shouldn't be able to do at your desk. So this is a very fun series if you're looking for something episodic and light and just fun. Next we have Urusai Yatsura. This is another series by Rumiko Takahashi. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was the first series that she brought over here, or that they brought over here. Haven't read it yet. I watched some of the anime when I was a little bit younger. It's really funny, and I'm a sucker for rom-coms, and I'm a sucker for romance, period. But I'm really excited to read this because Mason Ikoku is just super fun. It's just a riot. It's hilarious. Next we have Saint Seiya, Sentia Sho. I believe I need one more volume to finish this. Oh yeah, by the way, Urusei Yatsura is not complete. I'm missing quite a few volumes and I can't wait to get them. Saint Seiya, this is the only iteration of the Knights of the Zodiac and Saint Seiya that we have that's a spin-off in America. The art is absolutely beautiful. The story, it's good. Look at those covers, incredible. The story, it's good, but it repeats itself a few times. There's a few recycled scenarios and villains, and kind of turns me off. I've read all of it except for the last volume, so it's not the best, but I recommend it just because I want more Saint Seiya, so please buy it. But it's a fun read. It's not the best, but you'd enjoy it. Next we have Zom 100. A lot of people that were religiously reading this manga have slowed down because one of these volumes, I think it's volume 4 or 5, kind of takes an approach that they don't like. I believe I'm only on volume 3, so, or is it 4? I'm on volume 4. The art's really fun. I think it's a fun idea. Bucket List of the Dead. I hope that I'm not deterred from it and I want to continue reading it because so far I'm really enjoying it. We have Apple Black. This is a manga from the homies at Saturday AM. Let's see if this will focus. There we go. Honestly, this manga it's just really good quality. It's really well made, and you got the gloss and the matte. I love the art, but the pacing was a little off for me in the story. I couldn't really enjoy it the way that I wanted to, but I'll buy the rest to support, black people doing manga. That makes me very happy. But the pacing was an issue for this. I hope that the later volumes get better. I love the character designs. I love the world building. It's really good. I hope it gets better. Next, we have Persona 5. Never played Persona 5, but I really enjoyed Persona 4 and 3. The stories in Persona are just incredible, so I decided to pick up the manga because Persona 5 is such a long game and I don't know if I'm actually gonna take my time to play it, but I want the story. But I haven't read it yet because maybe I'll get the game. I can't decide. But the art is really good. I really appreciate the art. I'm a big fan of Atlas, like the game's Catherine. Yeah, the art's really good. It fits the story, it fits the game. Alright, we are almost at the end. We have Read or Die, and then we have Read or Dream. To be honest, this manga was not that fun to read, but I love the anime, and I love the idea of a character obsessed with books because I too am obsessed with books. So I'm going to keep it in my collection forever. I haven't read Read or Dream, but I'm excited to check it out because I know nothing about it. I read another. I'm not a huge fan of this. I'm probably going to unhaul it. I also unhauled Kakaguri. Kakaguri has amazing art, and the story is good, but I just wasn't feeling it anymore. The anime is much better, and I just don't vibe with it like that. Like, maybe I'll give it another chance and read it again, but as of now, I don't know, it's just not for me. And I love horror, but the story doesn't pull me. The characters, like, when they die, I don't care. And I want to care. I care more about the robots and Pluto than I do about the actual humans in another, which says a lot. You made it to the end of my manga collection. Let's talk about a few things that I have in my surrounding area of my collection. So, I made this shield for the character Alucard for the video game Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I used foam clay. I hand painted it. These are googly eyes, which is really funny to me. I had a lot of fun making this. I can't wait to make more things. This is Louis from Interview with the Vampire, Brad Pitt. I don't know if that's a real signature, but I like to pretend it is. Got my vampire magic deck. I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to Magic the Gathering, but I would like to start. We have a Pokemon magazine. I got it because it looked cool, and I love Pokemon. Yeah, we have a deck of Pokemon cards, player's guide, because I forget the rules a lot. We have the art book for Inio Asano. Just amazing work. I really love his art style. Honestly, some of his characters, like faces, remind me of Mad TV. I don't know if any of you remember Mad TV, but that's what I think of when I see their faces. This is my prized possession. This is my most expensive book, my most cherished book. My favorite artist, Ayami Kojima. She did the art for most of the Castlevania games, Curse of Darkness, Symphony of the Night, what else? Lament of Innocence. Incredible artist. I wish and pray and hope that my art can get a minuscule as beautiful as hers. I'll scroll through. Hopefully I don't show you anything too crazy because her art's really crazy. Just insane artwork. See if I could find Dracula or Alucard in here, because I'm the vampire otaku and that's what you all came for. You came for vampire content, did you not? Here we have Richter Belmont and Maria. We got Dracula. We have Hector, and this is from the game Castlevania Curse of Darkness. You have Dracula in the back. This is Trevor Belmont. The famous Alucard from Symphony of the Nights and Dracula. Amazing art. I can gush about it all day. This book deserves its own video. We have the art of Junji Ito. You already know. Junji Ito's art is amazing. Super creepy. The pretty boy from Love Sickness. The Boy in the Mist. Incredible. We have Femme Fatale, the artwork of Shuzo Oshimi. I love his art style. He uses colored pencil, so that makes you a winner in my book. Alright, by the way, let's go back to my favorite art book. The quality of this book is so high. It's hardcover. It's stitched. Just amazing. Alright, next we have the art of Cuphead. This was a gift. I believe that the art of this game is incredible, and they did an amazing job creating all of these designs and ideas. It takes me back to Tom and Jerry and the Road Runner, Donald Duck, all those older style cartoons. We have the Akira art book from the Akira box set. This artwork, you already know it's amazing. You already know. Super detailed. Next, we have one of my favorite video game creators, Grasshopper Manufacturer, Goichi Suda. One of my favorite games, No More Heroes. A lot of his games are in this book. This is another one of my prized possessions. Let's see if I can get the No More Heroes. Oh yeah, that was Killer 7, by the way, if you saw it while I was flipping through the pages. This game is amazing. You got Sylvia Cristal, you got Travis Touchdown, Santa Destroy, all the characters for No More Heroes 2. You got Henry Cool Down, the homie. You got Shinobu Jacobs, the homegirl. I love this book. I wish it was hardcover, but I'm just so blessed to have it. Next, we have the JoJo art book, JoJo A Go-Go. This came out around the time of part 5, my favorite part. Part 6, probably my least favorite. I do love Jolene as a character. It's just there's a lot of parts in that anime that just weren't as good as the other parts in my opinion. But I think Jolie is an amazing JoJo. So it works out. I'll show you this art book. This one is very heavy. And this is really cool. So where is it? You can spin this and it changes everything. I love that. I love interactive styles of books and whatnot. You have the illustrations, hardcover. Amazing art, Rohan. You also have the stands and just more. Like, this is incredible. Definitely pick this up if you can. If you made it this far, tell me, what series do you want to complete the most in your collection? For me, it would be Initial D and Nana. Those series are so good, and there's quite a few volumes of each, and they're a little on a difficult side to find. Even though Nana is getting a reprint, people are buying it left and right because it's so good. Thank you so much for watching this very long video, or at least very long to me. It's the longest video that I've done. And please subscribe, please like, please comment, let me know things that you feel I can improve on, because I'd love to be a better YouTuber. And thank you so much.